There are places on Earth where being 90 isn't the end. It's simply the start of another ordinary day. In one of them, a 97-year-old Italian grandmother still rides her bicycle to the market to buy bread. And in the far north of Sweden, amid the endless snow, a man in his 90s walks his dog every morning, unhurried, unworried, peaceful, as if time itself has forgotten him. People often say longevity is all about good genes. But if that were true, how do entire villages in Europe live past 100? In Italy, France, and Spain, places where people don't obsess over diets, still enjoy a glass of red wine every night, still eat cheese, still walk, still laugh, and yet they outlive most of the world. Perhaps their secret isn't found in supplements, gyms, or medical technology. It lies in the simple things we've forgotten. A real meal, a full night's sleep, a genuine conversation instead of a race and a rhythm of life, slow enough for the heart to feel the joy of simply being alive. So why can Europeans work, enjoy life, and still live longer, healthier, and happier than most of us? What's their secret to turning old age into the most beautiful chapter of life? In this video, we'll journey through places where time moves slower, where every meal is a ritual, where people still smile in the rain, and where being 80 or 90 isn't the end, but a testament to a balanced life well lived. Join me as we uncover the secrets of long life in Europe, and perhaps you'll discover the formula for happiness yourself. WHO and Eurostat certificates. Across Europe, life expectancy quietly stretches beyond 80 years. 80 in Germany, 82 in France, 83 in Spain and Italy. According to the World Health Organization and Eurostat, Europeans now live on average 5 to 7 years longer than Americans, and nearly a decade longer than the global average of 73. But the numbers only tell part of the story. Behind every statistic is a rhythm, a way of living that seems to resist the chaos of the modern world. In a continent where many countries have public health care, yes, medicine helps. But the real secret lies in daily habits that have been passed down for generations. Europe also has one of the lowest obesity rates among developed regions, less fast food, more home-cooked meals, and portion sizes that honor the body rather than overwhelm it. You'll rarely see someone eating in their car or gulping down coffee on the run. Here, eating is an act of presence. Even a simple lunch at a cafe becomes a small ceremony, a pause to breathe, talk, and savor. And then there's the mind. Studies show that Europeans report higher levels of mental well-being not because life is easier, but because the pace is gentler. They walk more. They take vacations. They know when to stop working and when to sit with friends, a glass of wine in hand, and let the evening unfold slowly. It's not that Europeans are richer. In fact, many work fewer hours and earn less than people in the US or parts of Asia. But they've mastered something far more valuable, the art of enough. They live slower, eat real food, and build real human connections, and that, more than any miracle drug, is what keeps their hearts beating longer. Secret 1. Food as a ritual. In Southern Europe, lunchtime is sacred. In Italy, Spain, and France, it's not unusual for a midday meal to stretch for an hour or two, not because they have time to waste, but because they believe food deserves respect. Offices slow down, shops close, and the streets fall quiet as families and friends gather around the table. Here, eating isn't just about filling the stomach, it's about nourishing the soul. As the Italians say, mangiare bene e vivere bene, to eat well is to live well. In these countries, food isn't fuel, it's a celebration of life itself. The Mediterranean diet. Rich in olive oil, fresh vegetables, fish, whole grains, and a glass of red wine is now recognized by the World Health Organization as one of the healthiest diets in the world. Studies show it can reduce the risk of heart disease, diabetes, and even Alzheimer's. But for Europeans, It's not a diet in the modern sense. It's a way of life. Meals are slow shared and meaningful. A plate of grilled fish with olive oil isn't just nutrition. It's history, passed down through generations of farmers and fishermen who lived by the rhythm of the sea and the seasons. Unlike in fast food cultures where eating happens between emails or behind the wheel, Europeans sit down. They talk, they laugh, they savor. Even a tiny espresso in a sunlit square becomes a ritual, a pause between the rush of life and the next breath. Look closely, and you'll see something beautiful. People aren't scrolling through phones or checking notifications. They're looking at each other. They're fully present. Because here, food isn't a pit stop in the day, it's the heartbeat of daily life. And maybe that's why in Europe, they don't just live longer. They live better. Secret 2. Natural movement. In much of Europe, movement isn't scheduled. It's woven into everyday life. People walk to the market, to the train station, to the cafe down the street. Cities are built for walking, not for parking. Narrow alleys, cobblestone squares, staircases, and corner bakeries invite people to keep moving without even realizing it. Here, walking isn't exercise, it's a way of life. In the morning, you see commuters strolling through misty streets with fresh bread tucked under their arms. At noon, older couples wander through leafy parks. By sunset, friends meet by the riverbanks or in small plazas sipping wine as they chat. Cars exist, yes, but they're not the default. Feet still rule the rhythm of the day. Science has long confirmed what these communities have known all along. Constant, gentle movement keeps the body young. Look at the famous Blue Zones places where people routinely live beyond 100 years. 2 of them are in Europe, Sardinia in Italy, and Icaria in Greece. Both are mountainous islands where every errand means a climb, every visit to a neighbor means a walk up a hill. Their elders don't hit the gym. They simply live in landscapes that make movement natural. In Sardinia, it's common to see men in their 90s tending vineyards on steep slopes, or women carrying baskets of vegetables from the garden to the kitchen. In Icaria, elders still dance at village festivals until late into the night, slow, graceful, steady. If you wander through these villages, you'll notice a pattern: winding stone paths lined with olive trees, small stairways carved into the hillsides, and elders walking at their own pace, greeting each neighbor with a smile and a nod. There's no rush, no stress, just the steady rhythm of life itself. This is how they've lived for centuries, not chasing fitness goals, but simply staying in motion. Because in Europe, longevity isn't found in miles run or calories burned, it's hidden in every step taken to the market, every hill climbed to visit a friend, and every gentle walk that keeps the heart alive. Secret 3. Community and connection. In Europe, loneliness is the rarest disease. Even in big cities, people don't vanish into crowds the way they do elsewhere. They know their neighbors, they greet the baker by name, and they still sit down for a chat at the same cafe they've been going to for years. There's always someone to share a story with, someone who remembers you. Across the continent, daily life is built around connection. In Italy, there's La Passeggiata, the evening stroll that turns every street into a living conversation. As the sun sets, families, friends, and couples fill the cobblestone alleys, walking slowly, smiling, greeting one another. No one is in a hurry. The point isn't the walk, but the company. In Spain, there's the fiesta, a celebration of togetherness that seems to pulse through the entire country. Streets light up with laughter and music, neighbors share food, children dance in the squares, and old men tap their feet to guitars they've known all their lives. These aren't special occasions, they're reminders that joy is meant to be shared. And science agrees. The longest-running study on happiness from Harvard University, spanning over 85 years, found one simple truth: strong relationships keep us healthier and help us live longer. Not money, not fame, connection. People who feel supported and loved age more slowly, have fewer illnesses, and recover faster when life gets hard. Europe somehow never forgot this. The rhythm of its villages and cities is designed around human contact, open-air markets, communal tables, public plazas, festivals that draw entire generations together. Here, social life isn't a luxury, it's part of survival. Because when you have someone to laugh with, to walk beside, to share a meal, and a moment with, your heart stays younger. And maybe that's why in Europe, the most powerful medicine isn't found in a bottle, but in the simple act of belonging. Secret 4. The less is more lifestyle. In much of Europe, success isn't measured by how much you own, but by how little you need to be content. While other parts of the world chase bigger houses, faster cars, and endless upgrades, Europeans quietly choose something different: quality over quantity. Here homes are smaller but cozier. Furniture is built to last, not to impress. People spend less on possessions and more on moments, on weekend trips, long dinners, and slow mornings that belong to no one but themselves. In France, most offices close around 6 o'clock. The workday ends not because everything is done, but because life begins after work. Families sit down for dinner, streets fill with laughter, and time, the most precious currency, is spent, not saved. In Germany, weekends often mean camping by a lake or hiking through pine forests, rain or shine. It's not luxury, it's freedom. In Scandinavia, the long winters turn into quiet rituals of peace reading, by candlelight wrapped in wool while snow falls softly outside the window. It's the Nordic art of lagom, not too much, not too little, just enough. This minimalist philosophy runs deep across the continent. Europeans understand that happiness doesn't come from buying more, but from wanting less. They repair, reuse, share, and simplify, finding joy not in accumulation, but in balance. They know that a slower life isn't a lesser life. A small apartment can hold big memories. A modest meal can taste extraordinary when shared. And a single free afternoon without meetings or screens can feel richer than a shopping spree. They don't buy happiness, they make it with time. And in that simplicity lies the quiet secret to their longevity: living enough, not living excess. Secret 5. Work-life balance. In Europe, people work to live, not live to work. The difference may sound small, but it changes everything. Most European countries have official limits of around 35 to 37 working hours per week and at least 20 to 30 paid vacation days a year. Some even add national holidays and parental leave on top of that. And when vacation time comes, they truly disconnect: no emails, no laptop, no guilt. Here, rest isn't laziness, it's part of productivity. They understand that to work well, you must first live well. While the United States battles a burnout epidemic, people chained to screens, skipping lunches, answering messages at midnight, Europe holds on to something precious: the art of the pause. On Sundays, the streets are quieter. Many shops close not because of religion or regulation, but out of respect for silence. It's their way of reminding the world that rest is a right, not a reward. Each country expresses this balance in its own beautiful way. In Denmark, there's hygge, the art of coziness. Evenings spent with candles, warm soup, and people you love. It's not indulgence, it's emotional maintenance. In France, they call it joie de vivre, the joy of living. A philosophy that life's pleasures are not distractions from success, they are success. And in Sweden, there's fika, the sacred coffee break. Twice a day, offices stop. People step away from their desks to share coffee pastries and genuine conversation. No rush, no pressure, just presence. These small rituals might seem trivial, but together they form the backbone of a longer, calmer, and happier life. Europeans have learned that you can't measure productivity by hours worked, only by the quality of your days. Because at the end of a well-lived day, it's not the deadlines you remember, it's the warmth of the moment when you finally had time to breathe. Secret 6. Universal health and holistic care. In Europe, health isn't treated as a privilege, it's a human right. Across the continent, from the snow-covered towns of Norway to the vineyards of France and the villages of Germany, public healthcare systems form one of the strongest backbones of society. In most European nations, medical care is either free or heavily subsidized. No one fears a hospital bill the way Americans do. The focus here isn't just on curing illness, it's on preventing it. People are encouraged to go for regular checkups, maintain gentle daily exercise, and eat fresh local food instead of relying on supplements or fad diets. Pharmacies are part of the community, not a last resort. A brisk morning walk or a bike ride to work often replaces the treadmill. In Northern Europe, health means balance, physical, mental, and emotional. Doctors don't just prescribe pills, they talk about sleep, diet, and stress. Mental health services are integrated into the national system, not hidden behind stigma. It's common for employers to offer therapy coverage or flexible schedules when workers feel overwhelmed. And when it comes to aging, Europe shows a kind of grace the modern world has almost forgotten. Elderly people are not left behind, they are looked after. Nursing homes are well-staffed and clean, but more importantly, they're respectful. In countries like Denmark and the Netherlands, seniors can choose assisted living communities where they live independently yet never feel alone. Many receive at-home care nurses who visit not just to check vitals, but to share a cup of tea and conversation. Compare that to the United States, where millions delay treatment out of fear of cost, where medical debt is the leading cause of bankruptcy, and where aging too often means isolation. Europe proves that dignity in health and old age isn't a luxury, it's a choice a society makes. Because here, the goal isn't to extend life at any cost, it's to make life worth living at every age. The lesson for us all. You don't have to live in Europe to live like the Europeans. Longevity isn't about geography, it's about philosophy. It's a way of seeing life not as a race, but as a rhythm. The truth is simple. You don't need a new passport to change your life. You just need a new mindset. Eat real food, food that reminds you of the earth, of family, of time spent cooking instead of rushing. Sleep deeply and move naturally, not for vanity, but because your body was made to feel alive. Connect deeply with others, but also learn to be comfortable with yourself. Find joy in a quiet morning, in a walk without headphones, in the company of silence. And most importantly, work to live, not live to work. Make space for sunsets, for conversations, for those little pauses that make life whole. In the end, the European secret isn't locked in their DNA, it's in their daily choices. To slow down, to savor, to simplify. Because longevity isn't a mystery, it's a mindset. A way of saying, I choose to live, not just exist. The Europeans don't try to stay young forever. They simply try to live fully every single day. And maybe that's the real secret to immortality, not in the body, but in the spirit. In every smile shared at a cafe, in every slow walk home through the rain, in every quiet moment where life feels enough. Because youth fades, but presence endures, and those who know how to live slowly never truly grow old. So, let me ask you, do you believe that longevity isn't written in your genes, but in your choices? If you do, drop a balance in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe, because around this world are countless more secrets, stories of how people live, love, and find peace in the simplest moments. Let's keep discovering them together.